All right, welcome back to Bayou Town, Martin Falls with the Chief of Police right here in Houma, Chief Travis Theriot. We're here yet to talk about a shooting that took place here in the city limits. Chief, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's talk about that Thursday shooting on Smith Lane. What can you tell us at this point?
So apparently, the suspect was arguing with a group of friends and family, and they had some type of disagreement, and things really escalated. And as the suspect, which was identified as Jordan Esteve, 19 years old, was walking away from the scene, he turned around and started firing back into the crowd. Well, as he started firing back into the crowd of individuals that he was arguing with, was acquaintances of his, a bystander that was working on his vehicle was struck in the arm. Well, the suspect then fled the scene. Our units received information and they responded, and they located him in the 1200 block of Margaret Street, I believe it was. And they took him into custody without an incident, and everything's been resolved. And he was charged with 6 counts of attempted second-degree murder.
Wow. And how old was the perpetrator?
19.
19. And we hear this a lot. Me and you have talked about this before, but this age group, and I'm not picking on this age group because they got some really fine people in this age group, but we're hearing more and more younger people that put the gun in their hand.
Right. Well, and look, majority of the age group is great, but this generation, they don't have some, I'm not going to say all of them, like you said, some of them do not have any respect for other people's life. They don't realize consequences. They just don't care. And there's just no regard for safety. It might only be, it is a small fraction of this generation, but one individual affected 6 lives here.
Right. Let me ask you this, because I hear this talk a lot, especially in our group. And we talk about it a lot, and there always comes up, somebody in the group always says, it's because they're programmed from these gaming videos that they have. There's a lot of violence on them. There's shootouts. Says you could participate. You could do whatever you want. Does that concern you, or it doesn't concern you? I want to be sort of unbiased here, but I hear a lot of talk about it.
Yeah, I don't buy into the gaming thing. In the end, each person has to make a decision for themselves. They can only blame society and games so much. Right. However, that person that fired that gun had to make a decision to do it. He's held accountable, not the video game. He's the one that did.
So more decision-making qualities on the spur of the moment.
That's right. They need to learn that there's other ways to settle a dispute.
Yeah. So, and I know that's part of what you've talked about. Any classes, any courses out there that, or if there's not, maybe you could create one, or maybe somebody else can create one where they have some kind of coping skills. I know there's several ways to get them help. Huh?
Right. And look, and just so happens that we have Mental Health Awareness Month, and there's always resources out there. And I would probably start with somebody like the Start Corporation, and they can guide you into the direction in which you may need therapy for some type of anger issues. I do know that some of our investigators that we handle all these incidents where we've seen these young people shot, and our guys are getting tired of dealing with these kids and just watching their lives get affected so young. It really takes a toll on a police officer, either watching a young person's life get taken or their life be altered because of a bad decision they made. So we are trying to develop some type of outreach into the schools. And I don't know if we're going to do it on a basis of like an entire school at one time, because I do think you get better quality whenever you do it in small groups. Mm-hmm. So maybe give it to the ones that the school feels could benefit by hearing what we have to say.
Yeah, because obviously the principals and the teachers would have a better idea.
Right.
I mean, if somebody's on the A honor roll and they study all the time and they never create trouble, you don't need to waste their time in this kind of thing.
Well, you put 1,500 kids in a room. We can't tell if all 1,500 are paying attention. But if you put 5, we're going to know that 5 are.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So, no, very good on that, because I can recall riding with you included back in the early days of the beat, and wasn't a lot of gunfire. There was a lot of fights, but they were out there in the parking lot getting after it.
That's right. And look, that was a long time ago. And you're right. You know, we would get out there to break up a fight, and every now and then you'd hear somebody, you know, they would dispatch you to a gunfire complaint. Now it's just, it's ridiculous the amount of shooting complaints we're getting.
And like you said, the wear and tear on the officers having to constantly go out and not knowing if that bullet's going to be directed at them. That's stressful.
And look, this younger generation that we arrest them, put them in jail. Don't think that doesn't bother the police officer. Nobody wants to put a kid in jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not what we do it because we have to, but that's not what we signed up to do. We're out there to have a positive effect on the kids, and we just need to find a way to do it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us once again. The chief right here in Houma, Travis Theriot. We have a lot more stories here on Bayou Time. Don't forget, if you're not catching us on the regular lineup, go to Facebook or YouTube. We have all the programs right there for you to see. Once again, we appreciate the chief taking his time to sit with us here at HTV. And if you have a news story, give us a call, 876-3456. We'll do our doggonest to get it on for you. We'll be back right after the commercial break.